Hi, I'm making this video so that you can reference how to do a visual critique that you're going to be doing for your homework assignments in your sketchbook. So at the top it just starts out, you're going to look at the title card, which will usually be printed or I'll give you, and it'll say who the artist is, the title, the size, the medium, the date, and sometimes you want to write the price or who it belongs to or where it is. So for today's, I'm just going to use this as our example. So I would put that it's by Pablo Picasso. It's oil on canvas. It's usually good to know like what it's painted on, not just brick or on a wall or a postage stamp. It's titled Child with a Dove, and it's 28 by 21 inches, and it's in the National Gallery in London. So I would put all that at the top. And the first part is the easiest part, and that's just the describing. I'm physically going to describe what I see, like pretending like nobody else can see it. So it's a child holding a dove. The background is blue and a beige, and there's a ball. And I might say that the painting looks like it's put on pretty heavy, like a knife, or it's not realistic. And then it's going to say, it's probably a portrait, or they call it a genre painting, which is a painting of everyday life. And then it's made of paint, so it needs to know your medium. And the technique would be heavy brush strokes, being that it's not smooth. And then I would analyze it, and this is where your principles and elements come into play, and this is why we put them into your sketchbook. So you would refer back to them, and usually you would pick out the ones that are the most dramatic. So for this one, the color is a big standout, being that it's very blue and it kind of dominates the whole picture. So I would say for color that it's very muted. The background's blue. Almost all of the paint in the picture has some kind of blue put into it, and it gives it a sad feeling. And then I would also talk about the texture, because that's another one that puts out that the lines are very heavy. And you have to cite it like you would cite a book. So I would say in your background, you notice that if I look closely, that the strokes are very heavy, and it gives it a rough texture because of how the paint is applied. And then I might want to go over to my principles, because I just used 2 elements, and I would pick out one that speaks the most to me. And for this one, I would probably pick emphasis. And I would say that the subject matter that's emphasized is a child, and they do this by making it lighter, and they also do it by putting it in the center, and it's the first thing that my eye goes to. And then the next part is a little bit harder, is the interpreting part of it. And what is the purpose, meaning, or message? Like, why did the artist make this? And to me, it looks like maybe they're trying to capture a story of like the innocence of a child, or of a sad moment that you had. And you could kind of go into like what doves mean, or maybe a memory that you had of a child, or how your feelings are when you look at this. You might even go into, because it wants the significance, you might go and look up the history of it. Like, I know that this is during Picasso's blue period, and I know a little about his history, so you might say something and look up that part of it. And what does it mean to you? To me, it's referencing a moment of like the innocence of being a child, and like how it feels, like how connected they are with toys and pets. And then the last one is your judgment, and then you have to kind of back up. Is this good artwork? Why or why not? And I would say that it is successful. I have an emotional connection to it when I look at it. I like how there's a color theme that goes through the whole thing, and it really draws you to look at it, and you start to look at the face, and then maybe you know somebody that looks like that, or reminds you of a time that you knew when you were your own child. So you have to, just like you would cite a book, you have to cite parts of the painting. You know, that it's why, and in the same reason, if you didn't like it, well, you say, well, maybe I don't like it because I don't think that they were successful in how they painted it, or that, you know, that it's not realistic, and that you think the artwork needs to be that. So you would have to give your reasons why or why not. Or would you hang it up in your house? Is it something that you would use? And this paper here will also help you, because it will give you words of how to talk about things, and put it into words and not just your thoughts that are in your head.